Then the red P is for parking, and you'll see that at various locations. Um, again, up in the left-hand corner for parking, the parking for athletics and bocce, and parking near the Glen Towers, and then there's parking for Burdick Hall as well. The little yellow boxes with the little buses, again, usually you see them where you see the P for parking. So as you're looking at the map, those are the places for bus stops and the shuttle stops. And they're also indicated in the blue boxes. And then restrooms certainly are throughout, and that's the universal symbol for a restroom. And you can see this is sort of like a sort of khaki color, greenish color, and you can see those boxes. Primarily, there are a lot of boxes right around athletics and cheerleading, and so those are where the restrooms are. Certainly, although it's not indicated at Burdick Hall, of course there are restrooms in Burdick Hall, and there are restrooms throughout the rest of the campus as well. Certainly in the dining hall as well. So I think that's pretty much sums it up. And then, of course, one of the important things is the family hospitality is athletics, and Burdick, and the one at athletics is going to encompass a variety of venues. And the family reception will again be in the CQ Arena, and that is the big arena that also hosts our opening ceremonies. So it's pretty easy to get to that location as well. And Debbie or Jeff, if you have anything else, but other than that, I think I've got that covered.
Great. Yep. Thanks, Susan. So one quick change that I think we used an old map, so I apologize for that. The bus stop for off-campus will be at the end of the University Union. So that will be marked, but it's not going to be where it's marked on the map. And the other one, just to clarify one thing that Susan said. So similar to last year, we will be having one central family hospitality area at Towson University in Lot 21. So not just for athletics, but that will be in Lot 21. That's the parking lot of the Towson Center by the shuttle bus stop. And that will be for bocce, on-site softball, and for athletics. Burdick swimming and off-site softball will have their own.
Okay. Debbie, are you on? Deb, do you have volume now? Okay.
Okay.
So,
yep. Just go ahead and keep going.
Yeah. Okay. I'm sorry. Debbie and I were going to switch off between slides so that you didn't have to hear my voice the whole time, but obviously that's not going to happen. So the next slide you see is Cockeysville Middle School, where the softball team competition and individual skills will be happening. There are directions in the family facts that hopefully you all received, and there are directions in the event guide as well. So it's not too long of a trip, and I'm sorry, Jeff, is there, because of the limited parking, there is shuttle service for families to Cockeysville, is that correct?
Correct, and we definitely do encourage you to use the shuttles if you can. If you're staying on campus, it'll take you right to Cockeysville Middle School. There is a parking lot at Cockeysville Middle School, but with the addition of individual skills and some extra team competition happening there, we know it might get a little tight. So we encourage you to shuttle to Cockeysville. You can park in the parking lot, but we do ask that you obey all parking regulations at the school and in the surrounding neighborhood. Don't create a space on the grass or anything like that. Please obey parking regulations, and if you can, please try and shuttle.
And just the experience that I've had each year, just going and stopping by Cockeysville as a family coordinator, making sure that they have things that they need, or if I need to take supplies over, I can tell you that from the very, very beginning in the morning, the parking lot is almost always filled, and I have to just sort of park momentarily right along where the family hospitality tent is, just to drop something off for them. So even when I get there, there's limited parking, and again, it is on surrounded by a residential area. And as Jeff said, we ask that everyone please respect the fact that it is a residential area. And I can honestly say from experience, the best way to do that, to get there and back without a lot of frustration worrying about parking, would be to take the shuttle.
Great.
So now we have up on the screen, we have the Summer Games master schedule, and we'll begin with Friday, June 8th, from 10 to 3 is the cheerleading competition at Towson Center. 11:30 to 12:30 will be lunch at the cheerleading venue. Cheerleading delegates only will be served lunch at that location and at that time. 12:30 to 3, the family hospitality will be set up. And Debbie Credito, once again, our fabulous volunteer, will be hosting the family hospitality area for cheerleading. From 4 to 6, there's dinner in the Susquehanna Dining Hall and a dance demonstration in the Potomac Room. From 5 to 7, there's a block party. I'm sorry. Should I go? I'm sorry, I thought I was interrupted. 5 to 7, there's a block party on lot 20. And 5 to 9, there's going to be merchandise sold in a lot 20. So there's a lot going on in lot 20. At from 6 to 6:30, there's a coaches meeting. And as it says, the locations have been communicated to in sports webinars and are included in the event guide. From 6:30 to 7:15, the staging of athletes in lot 20. At 7:30 to 9, opening ceremonies and torch lighting ceremony in the CQ Arena. And then from 9 to 10, bus loading and departure, and the delegates are then going back to their dorms. Bright and early Saturday, 6 to 8:15 is breakfast again in the Susquehanna Dining Hall. 7 a.m. buses to Cockeysville softball start. And again, just reiterating the comments from before that the best way to, and the least frustrating method of transportation to Cockeysville would be for families to take the shuttle. From 8 to 5, the competition begins. Athletics is at United Stadium. Bocce, is the varsity soccer field, which is, if this is your first time, it's just down the hill from United Stadium. Softball is in the varsity softball field and offsite at Cockeysville Middle, and swimming is a little bit across campus from the United Stadium at Burdick Hall, which is right on Towson Town Boulevard. From 9 to 3, that's the family hospitality will take place in all the sites from 9 a.m. to 3, and there will be refreshments, registration, resource material is available, and as we've done for many, many years, as you fill out your registration form, which allows us to keep a current database of all of our families, so that we ensure that it's updated so that they get all the current mailings that we distribute, and you will get a Summer Games pin, one per family. Another important aspect of Saturday is our Young Athletes Open House. The first session is from 10 to 12, and the second session is from 1 to 3, which is in the Towson Center. And if anybody just has a chance to, between competitions, to go over and check out Young Athletes, it's a really terrific program. It's thriving and growing under Mackenzie's leadership, and it's just an exciting opportunity to see the future Special Olympics Maryland athletes. From 4 to 9, we'll be selling merchandise in Lot 21 at the Towson Center. From 4 to 6, there'll be dinner at the Towson at Lot 21, which is Famous Dave's, which is outside. From 6 to 7, for those concerned for this, there's an HOD meeting at United Stadium, which is right across the street from the Towson Center. From 5:30 to 8, there's the softball evening game and home run derby, which is a lot of fun to watch. And then from 6 to 9 is the dance, Olympic Park. The theme is Tropical Island. So if you can have all of your athletes pick out their favorite Hawaiian shirt or tropical outfit to wear, that would be great. And then from 7:30 to 8:30 is the family reception. We again have food from Chick-fil-A and salads and desserts from our fabulous partner, Clip Wings. They will be with us again to provide all the desserts. And again, that's for families only. All athletes will be attending the dance, which is incredibly well supervised. So athletes have a great time over there dancing and having fun with their fellow athletes. Sometimes they don't always get a chance to see all the other athletes because of the competition, but this is a great opportunity for all of the athletes to get together and talk about the day's competition and just continue maintaining the friendships they've had. Wrap it up on Sunday, again, starting early at 6, from 6 to 8:15 for breakfast. Again, 7 a.m. the buses start for Cockeysville. 8 a.m. to 3, the competition begins. The same venues: athletics at Unitas, bocce at the soccer field, softball at the softball field, and Cockeysville Middle School, and swimming at Burdick Hall. And again, from 9 to 12, the family hospitality will be at all the sites again. Summer Games updates, opening ceremony and block party. The block party is located in Lot 20 behind CQ Arena on Friday by the softball stadium. It really is right behind the CQ Arena, and it's a huge parking lot, lots of space, lots of fun things going on back there. Olympic Park will be in 21 at Towson Center on Saturday and Sunday. Currently, we have planned to have a DJ, some street entertainers, sports clinics, arts activities, food vendors for food for sale. And then parade staging starts at 6:30, and inclement weather plan for the block party and the parade staging to move into Towson Center. But we all know it's going to be beautiful and there won't be any inclement weather. So that's just my prognostication. Just being very positive. For Summer Games updates, again, opening ceremony starts at 7:30 in the arena. The parade of athletes, musical entertainment, athlete and special guest presentations, all of the oaths from the officials, the coaches, and the athletes, and then the highlight would be the torch lighting ceremony. Regarding safety and concern for the arena, we are adhering to Towson University and CQ Arena policy. Those who come to opening ceremonies will pass through metal detectors and bag inspection. If you can avoid it, please do not bring bags to opening ceremonies. This is not based on any risk assessment of the games. This is simply standard practice of Towson University for any event taking place in CQ Arena. And I'm sure as many of you know who have been to other arenas or concerts or baseball games or basketball games, this is just a standard procedure. It's nothing particular for Special Olympics or for our games. This is just standard operating procedure for any large, really large venue like this. And it's for everybody's protection and safety.
Susan, I can talk transportation if you want to take a break.
Yeah, that'd be great. Thanks.
Yeah, that was a lot of slides. So want to go over some information about transportation. And I know that we had one question about shuttle schedule, and I will certainly answer that one. So, Nicole, we did see your question on there. Some things that you should know about transportation. A walking route from Barton and the University Union is open. That had been closed in the past, but that's now open. The University Union Garage is open on all levels. And one of the most important things that we can stress is if a bus is crowded, be patient. Our shuttles will run continuously, and there are plenty of buses on each of the routes that we'll send out. If you are staying on campus, so if you are on an on-campus loop, you can stand up while the bus is going, but off campus, if you're headed to Cockeysville, no standing is allowed. And then a route will only circle, there will be a route that circles Auburn Drive. It will not go to the residence halls and look for a sign in the bus windows. And this will be helpful for lots, from lots 13 and 14, and bocce, athletics, softball, and Olympic Park. So look for this bus if you are traveling just around the sports venues. You do not have to go back all the way to the residence halls to circle back around. There will be a route that will circle Auburn Drive, which is the athletic venue. On Friday, June 8th, there will be a loop running from 8 to 10 a.m. that will service lots 13 and 14, which is the lot above United Stadium, and going to lot 21, which is the Towson Center for cheerleading. So those of you who are attending the cheerleading competition can look for that loop. The loop will then run from lot 13 and 14 and loop through lot 21, the Towson Center, and housing facilities. This will run from 10 to 4. We'll be open all day. The loop will service the housing facilities, parking lot 13, 14, and lot 20 for opening ceremonies and block party from 4:30 to 8. And then the loop will then go to lot 20, which is CQ Arena, to housing facilities based upon dismissal from opening ceremonies. So you can see we have lots of good transportation. You can park in lot 13, 14 and get to where you need to be. Drop off prior to opening ceremonies will be on Auburn Drive near lot 20 until approximately 6 p.m. To make room for staging of the delegations. And it's important to note that mobility concerns will be addressed at the HOD meeting on June 7th. So your coaches have been communicating with HODs, and HODs communicating with our staff, and there's a meeting on June 7th to talk about that at the HOD meeting. Pickup after opening ceremonies for athletes and people headed back to lot 13 and 14 will be in lot 20, and groups will be dismissed by announcement from the stage in CQ Arena. So that's the Friday plan. Going over some of the loops for Saturday, there will be a shuttle loop starting at 6 a.m. To 7:30 a.m. servicing Barton to small lot behind the University Union for breakfast. There will be a shuttle from 7 a.m. through the end of competition for the softball venue located at Cockeysville Middle School. This shuttle loop, as I mentioned when we were looking at the map, will start at the small lot behind the University Union. So that will be an updated map that we send out after this. There will also be a shuttle loop starting at 7 a.m. and running till 5 p.m. from the parking lots 13 and 14 to bocce athletics venues, as well as 20 for softball in Olympic Park in 21. So as we talked about, that will not go to housing facilities. Look for that if you're just traveling around the sports venues. Another shuttle loop will run from 7:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. and will service all housing facilities to lot 13, 14, bocce and athletics, to lot 20 for softball, and 21 for Olympic Park and back to the housing facilities. And this shuttle loop will then run from 5:30 to 9:30 from the housing facilities to lot 21 for dinner, the dance, and Olympic Park. So you can see that there are some loops that service housing facilities, some that do not. If you're just traveling around the sports facilities, it's important to look for those signed buses that are just for athletic facilities. And then Sunday, June 10th, similar to Saturday, there will be a shuttle loop starting at 6 a.m. and running to 7:30 a.m., servicing Barton to the small lot behind the University Union for breakfast. There will be a shuttle loop starting at 7 through the end of competition for the softball venue located at Cockeysville Middle School. And again, if you can use that shuttle to Cockeysville Middle School, we encourage you to do so. We'll begin at the small lot behind the University Union. From 7 a.m. to 3 p.m., there will be a shuttle loop servicing parking lots 13 and 14 to Bocce and Athletics, as well as lot 20 for softball on campus and no dorms. And then from 7:30 to 3, there will be a shuttle loop servicing the housing facilities to parking lot 13, 14 to Bocce, Athletics, and lot 20 for softball on campus. One thing to note in all of those, you did not see a swimming shuttle. There is a parking garage right by Burdick Hall that we are asking if you're going to swimming, that's where you should park. That was noted on the map on the slides, which you will receive. And so please use that. If you need to then come over to the athletic side of campus, you can move your car and park in 13, 14. There will not be a shuttle servicing swimming from the sports complex back and forth. Some other notes: if a competition is delayed for any reason, the shuttle service will be extended until the end of competition. So those are not hard and fast times. Those are based on projected end times of competitions. If they need to be extended, they will. Towson shuttles all have wheelchair lifts, and these shuttles will run Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. For special on-campus needs, please call 410-704-7433 20 minutes in advance of the pickup time desired. So if you have a paratransit that's needed, you can use that number. Parking passes only in lot 19 near Bocce. Now, this is something that's new this year. In the past, it's been blocked off. Sometimes it's open, but parking passes are required for lot 19. That's the parking lot near Bocce. Passes will be distributed to HODs on site, and that's going to be based on the number of spaces available and the number of Bocce participants in their Bocce delegation. So that's been communicated to them. But if you do not have a parking pass, you will not be allowed to park in lot 19. And again, it's different from past years, but we think it'll save a lot of headaches for families by doing parking passes only. Like we talked about before, on the number of teams playing at Cockeysville Middle School, parking may become tight. It will become tight, not just may. Family members are encouraged to park at Towson Shuttle to Cockeysville Middle School if you're able to. Please obey all parking regulations at the school and around the local neighborhood. So, talked about parking passes in lot 19 at the Bocce venue. You will also remember the loading dock at United Stadium, which is around the back of the stadium that you can access from Auburn Drive. This is for staff and management personnel only. Others will be towed at the owner's expense. This is a small loading dock located directly across from lot 19 at the Bocce venue. That's off limits to spectators. We talked about lot 19 at the Bocce venue. This location will be restricted to parking passes only. Passes will be distributed to delegations based on size of their Bocce delegation. And there's a possibility of passes for certain locations in lot 21 at the Towson Center, but that will be communicated if that is the case. One question came up at Cockeysville, will parents be shuttled to fields on golf carts? Possibly. So it's happened in the past, and that's really dependent on the availability of golf carts and volunteers to do that. Certainly, if we can accommodate that, we will try, but we don't want to say definitely yes or no because we don't know how carts will be tied up. Wow, there's a lot on transportation. next one. End of opening ceremonies. We'll go through this relatively quickly. The MC will call areas and counties by name. This is for athletes to lead on the first group of shuttle buses. Delegation escorts will also have the order of departure. There's going to be about 500 to 525 people per wave, which is really good. The first run will go to the towers only. Second and third run will go to Barton and the towers. Final process and details to be covered will be covered for the HOD meeting on June 7th. So this is really more for delegation, but if you're wondering how your athletes will get from opening ceremonies to back to their dorms, there's a shuttle process there. All Summer Games delegation should be returned to their dorms in 3 bus trips, which is really good. So it won't be too late of a night for your athletes. And music will be playing in Lot 20 until the final bus departs. So it'll be a fun social atmosphere. But we do ask that delegations remain seated at opening ceremonies until called by announcements for dismissal to load shuttles in Lot 20. So Susan, do you want to talk about Olympic Park and Victory Dance?
Sure, give your voice a break and your cough.
I know.
Olympic Park and Victory Dance. Additional activities are currently planned at the block party and Olympic Park and will include sports clinics, art activities, movie night, which is for Olympic Park only Saturday, and it's tentative based on available space. There'll also be a dance demo in the Potomac Room on Friday from 4 to 6 at the University Union. Again, the Saturday dance theme is Tropical Island, and so we encourage the athletes to pack their best tropical outfit. Again, as we mentioned before, the Young Athletes program activities, they'll be hosting an open house, and it's at the Towson Center from 10 to 12 for the session 1 and 1 to 3 for session 2. That will all happen on Saturday. And again, if you have the opportunity, we encourage you to try and stop by and have a look.
Great. And this is just, I'll just do this one. This is just the layout of our Lot 21, which will be where Olympic Park and Victory Dance is. And you can see there'll be food trucks in the corner. The important one to look at is this blue rectangle. That's where Debbie Credito will be with the family hospitality section that will be open on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, so you can stop by and get some snacks, merchandise across from her, and then volunteer check-in, which I think is the most important. But so that's the general layout of what we're working with up in Lot 21.
Again, as we mentioned earlier, there'll be merchandise for sale from Friday from 5 to 9 at the block party, and that's in Lot 20. Saturday from 6 to 9 in Olympic Park, and that again is in Lot 21. And potentially, this is an error, sorry, potentially at Burdick and Cockeysville, not Loyola, because we are not at Loyola this year. So we're back on campus, which is great. So we're looking into having merchandise at the Burdick swimming venue and at Cockeysville for softball.
Yeah, I missed. I thought I switched all the Loyolas, but it looks like
I thought I did too.
All right. Now that I think she's on, Debbie, do you want to talk about family hospitality areas? Oh, maybe she's not. She just.
Okay.
Oh. Go ahead.
All right.
Sorry.
Am I here?
You're there.
Oh, there we go.
Woo!
Okay, so
All
we're
right,
on family hospitality areas.
Okay, so family hospitality areas, they're going to be in 3 different sites. In Lot 21, which is my house over at Olympic Park. Please come see me. I get very lonely and I need company. Then we have over at Burdick Hall, where Susan will be. And there will be is there on-site concession there as well?
No.
For Burdick Hall? No? No. Okay, and then there'll be one at off-site softball. So you'll have 3 different hospitality areas to stop on by. And if you fill out a family registration form, you get a free gift.
Awesome. Thanks, Debbie. So that's where our family hospitality areas will be. And Susan, do you want to go ahead and talk about the family reception?
Well, let's give it to Debbie. She hasn't had a chance.
All right.
Okay. So do you want to flip the slide?
I did.
It is.
Okay. Well, the hamster must be running in the wheel very slowly at my computer because it's slowly coming up. Love computers. Okay. As always, we have our wonderful family reception from 7:30 to 8:30 at the CQ Arena. We will have, as Susan said before, Chick-fil-A and our favorite homemade desserts from our wonderful partners at the Clipped Wings. But we do need to remind you that the reception is for family members and guests of athletes only. Athletes cannot attend the family reception. We suggest that this is considered a respite for families, where you get a chance to sit down for an hour and relax and enjoy, and then we will let you out in plenty of time to get back to the dance to spend the last half hour with your athletes. So please stop by and see us. We always have a great time. We have silent auction. We have door prizes, and lots of good food. So please stop by and enjoy.
Great. But yeah, I do want to reiterate that this is for family members and guests of athletes only. The athletes really should be with their delegations, enjoying the block party. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm going to run out of the family reception and go up to the tropical dance myself. So we definitely encourage you to come to the family reception. We hope to see you there, but please do not bring your athletes.
Okay, so some miscellaneous information for you regarding meals. All registered delegation members will be provided lunch on Saturday and Sunday, and on Friday for cheerleading registrants only. All delegation members staying overnight on campus will be provided dinner and breakfast during the designated periods. Dinner for delegations will be provided on Saturday at the Olympic Park in Lot 21, Towson Center, and dinner will be provided from Famous Dave's. This will be a ticketed dinner, for the athletes. Other individuals may purchase meals for the approximate prices of breakfast, $8, and paying at the register. Lunch is $8, and their lunches are available for purchase by non-delegation members. And then dinner is $11, and you again pay at the register. So just as a reminder for families or information for first-time family members, it's sometimes a good idea to pack some snacks just in case your athletes need something in between. Certainly at the family hospitality there'll be water and snacks for you, but just as a precaution, we encourage family members to think about packing their own lunch, just to make sure that they get the lunch that they want, and they'll have it whenever they're ready to have their lunch, rather than relying on the lunches from that are provided for sale by Towson.
Great. And one thing to note, with the food trucks that will be available for Olympic Park, we do encourage you to bring some cash. Not a lot of the food trucks do take credit cards, but just in case, you might want to send your athlete with a little bit of money. And if you're headed up to Olympic Park as well, you can certainly do the same. This is just a quick reminder that I'll say in 30 seconds. Non-credentialed family members are not allowed to enter the dorms or rooms of athletes. Please be respectful of this policy. They will be housed in Tower C and D as well as Barton Hall, but If you are a family member who is not registered with a delegation, you are not allowed to enter the dorms. For rooms of athletes, they will be well supervised by their coaches and chaperones and HODs. Great.
Okay, so for the next slide, it's regarding the 2018 USA Games and Team Maryland families and athletes. There will be a family briefing on Sunday at approximately 4 o'clock in the Potomac Lounge in the University Union. And this is approximate because we're not sure how long some of the competitions may continue, but we want to ensure that all of the family members who will be attending USA Games or have athletes attending USA Games are able to participate fully in this briefing. So again, the time is approximate. The athletes that will be included in this briefing are in athletics, bocce, softball, and swimming. It is the responsibility of the delegation for these athletes, other than the competitions for the relays and excuse me, doubles for athletics, bocce, and swimming. At this time, the delegation will be in charge of communicating with Team Maryland coach for handing off the athletes during these events only. But again, this is a briefing for families. We're going to be providing any updates that we have, additional information that has come across to us since the last briefing, and an opportunity for family members to ask questions of the entire Team Maryland delegation, not just the family coordinator, but all of the other staff and games management team that will be attending. So we're pretty confident that any question that you have will be answered, because everybody will be on site to answer those questions. I did send out an email to all of the family members on the delegation roster and encourage them to ask questions in advance and send them to me so that I can get them to the games management team, so that we are prepared for your questions on Sunday, and hopefully would make the meeting move a little more quickly. To this date, I have not received any questions, so I will be sending out another email to all the family members of Team Maryland, reminding them to ask any questions that they may have in advance.
Just some quick things for medical and weather. We will have medical at all of our sites. As always, they will be wearing orange shirts, so they are easily identified. They're so bright you could probably see them from space, these bright orange shirts. But they will be out and around and are there to help. Everybody will have a stocked med bag. Please make sure you bring your own sunscreen and bug repellent, and remind your athletes, other delegation members, and spectators to drink plenty of liquid throughout the day. Water's the best, even if you don't feel thirsty. It's always important to stay well hydrated. Inclement weather plans, but as Susan said, it's impossible, because I don't think there's any rain left in the sky after the past few weeks that we've had. We have inclement weather plans that have been communicated to our HODs, who will communicate those out to coaches. Please know that only Towson staff, Special Olympics Maryland staff, and GMT members are able to decide if we're going to activate the inclement weather plan, and that may be by venue to venue, because sports are able to play in different types of rain and weather. It's going to be venue to venue. We must wait 30 minutes from the last lightning and thunder sighting and hearing before restarting competition. So there will be that 30-minute time frame after a storm. And please remember to respect the decision of Special Olympics Maryland staff and Towson staff and GMT. We have a great relationship with Towson, and they let us use their radar and forecasting. And so that's really helpful. At venues where pop-up tents are permitted, which we will talk about, Special Olympics Maryland and Towson University may require that tents be taken down temporarily or permanently due to wind or other inclement weather. We ask that for your quick cooperation and to ensure everyone's safety, that those be taken down very quickly if we deem it necessary. Unless there is very severe weather, tent structures from Special Olympics will probably remain standing, and appropriate accommodations will be made to ensure the athletes have adequate shade and cover. The tents that we get are structured tents that are professionally built, so it needs to be really extreme weather for those to come down. So again, if you do have your pop-up tents that you're going to bring to your venues, please be respectful if we ask that those be removed, which is what this slide is all about. So pop-up tents are allowed at off-site softball in Cockeysville, the bocce venue and at track and field. And just like I said, please be aware that under certain weather conditions, we may ask you to take them down. Please comply with that. Debbie, do you want to talk about social media? I know you like to tweet.
Deb?
Again, I'm waiting for the thing to roll. There we go. We feel that it's great publicity if you all can get out there, and I know most of you are on Twitter or Facebook or Instagram. Share your pictures, share your medal experiences, share your athletes' joys with us by using these platforms. It will be great, and that way it'll get out to everyone that we can, to show what a great organization we do have.
Yeah, it's an awesome way for us to collect pictures and experiences. So make sure you post. You can find us at SP Olympics MD. Include our partners at Towson U in this. And we're going to be using the hashtag #ThisIsMe, Summer Games, and choose to include are the hashtags that we'll be using. So if you're on social media, make sure you post.
And don't forget, not just pictures, but sort of, brief descriptions of, a particular competition or something that happened while they were in staging, or any little brief description of the power of Special Olympics Maryland and your athlete and families.
Great.
So we'd like to thank you for your support of our athletes, coaches, and teams. I know as a family member, Desiree's been swimming since January and February, and so I know how hard all of the athletes train, how excited they are, and I know how hard the coaches work. But I'm most particularly aware of how much effort goes in by family members just to get athletes to the many practices and qualifiers that they have during a single competition season, which also sometimes includes competing seasons, so they may be training for different sports than summer games. But really, the family members are the ones that get the athletes ready to go for practice, get them to practice, bring them home, and then wake up and do it all over again. And so we know how excited you are, looking forward to the culmination of all of that preparation and all of the training. And we just really, really hope that you have an incredible, exciting time. I've heard from a couple of new family members who this will be their first year, and it's very, very exciting to hear them and to realize how excited they are and just ready to experience summer games for the first time and start their journey and adventure throughout the years with Special Olympics Maryland. And so we all appreciate all the work that you do to prepare your athletes, and we hope and are sure that you're going to have an incredible experience this summer games. Thank you.
So we do have an additional question that came through that I'll answer quickly. If you would like to type in other questions, you can certainly do that. You can also send your questions to Susan at sholland@somd.org, who can respond to your questions if you don't want to type them here. But the question is, when will we know what time our team plays softball and where, if it's on site or at Cockeysville? So all of that information will be communicated to coaches. If it hasn't already happened, it should be happening within the next day or two. So that will be communicated to coaches directly, who will then communicate with their teams. So check in with your coaches if you haven't heard from them yet, and they should have that information. And if not, that should be pretty soon. There may be some if-then games, determined by who beats who and all that. So they might not have the full schedule, but should have a good idea.
And the swim schedule has been out. So if you have questions about when your athlete will be swimming a particular competition at Burdick at this swimming venue, again, as Jeff said, your coaches should have that. That's a set schedule, and it is not dependent upon, who wins what game and has to play the winner of the other game. So please contact your coaches and ask about that, because again, it is set, and that will help you a lot, because it's their competition for 2 days. It's swimming, and if your athlete is in numerous events, then you can see how far spaced their events are, so that if you have family members who want to come in but aren't able to spend the entire day, then you'll be able to give them an approximate time of when your athlete's competitions will begin, and that really helps with planning for you and for your other family members.
Great. And I got a text update from Mike Sarnowski. So breaking news, softball schedules will be to coaches by Wednesday or Thursday of this week. So those are coming. So if you're a softball parent, don't get in touch with your coach quite yet. They should receive those on Wednesday or Thursday. And then a question came in: will I be able to access a replay of this webinar? Of course, yeah. We will send a recording of the webinar, not just to the people who attended, but also the people who didn't attend, so you can see that, have a copy of the maps and all of that. So
and again, yeah, please don't hesitate to contact me at the email address that you see there, because literally, parents have questions at various times during the day and the evening, and every question is important because it's important to that particular family member. So I do my best to make sure that I answer the calls and provide the information they need, or let them know I'll call them back and get the information they need. So please, between now and even during the games, if you have a question, please don't hesitate to send me an email or give me a call. It's on the website, but at 301-814-2213 is my cell phone.
Great, thanks, Susan. So without any more questions that came in, I do want to say thanks again for echo Susan thanks for all you do to support our program and your athletes, not just throughout the summer game season, but through all of the seasons that we have. You are the ones doing a lot of great work for our athletes, and so we certainly appreciate that. Again, if we can do anything or answer any questions, please don't hesitate to get in touch with Susan between now and the games. But we hope this was informative, and we look forward to seeing everybody at Towson or Cockeysville. Have a great night.
Thank you.